Hey everybody, I just want to talk about conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and why I think the way I do about, our government and possibly world government and all that. I think it's important to know if your government is telling you the truth, so that when they make policy, you can be sure that it's for your good and not for special interests, the good, the well-being of special interests, like I don't know, pick one, bankers or whatever. Okay, so that's important. I think everybody can agree that you need to know that your government is telling you the truth. Um, but when it comes to conspiracy theories, it gets kind of confused because, it just seems impossible. And I've always had an inquisitive mind. I don't want to go on too much about myself. And this isn't about 9/11, but 9/11 was what really woke me up. But it didn't happen. I didn't wake up at 9/11. I don't know if that would have been a good thing, but I didn't. Because I didn't have a computer and I wasn't online until 2009. I didn't know a damn thing until I could see those buildings falling down again and again. Just back up the video and go again and again and again. You can see, all the stuff and see what I saw. So this video is more to people who don't believe in conspiracy theories and they think the government is wonderful, and it's not about the government. Whoever is running our society, it's in general heading in the right direction. They believe that, and I just don't. It couldn't be further from the truth, as far as I know. Based on if you have a watershed moment like I did, where 9/11 is so huge and obviously it was obvious. That's the deal. It was so obvious to me. If you had the same kind of moment where it's obvious, absolutely, you can't look away. You know for sure. Now they're lying. Now you know it. When you have that moment, then what do you do? See? Some people just look away and go on with what they're doing. But once that happens, then you know that you're being lied to. And if you're like me, you just keep looking and see how else they're lying to you, And after that, I started watching the news in a different way. Instead of just watching to see what the current event was, I was also checking to see what the news media's spin on the event was, and what did the government have to say about it, and who was benefiting from whatever this was. And this really opens your mind up. So people who don't believe in conspiracy theories, they don't have the same mindset as I do. And when they're watching the news, they're just going to believe it, whatever they're told. And that's how you get manipulated. As I'm addressing you right now, you non-believers are shaking your head and you don't even know what I'm talking about. I know, because you don't have the same mindset I do. But when you have that moment where you cannot deny that someone is doing something behind your back, I mean, that's a big deal. Blow up your own buildings. I'm going to say blow up. But destroy your own buildings on purpose and blame it on Muslims so that you can go to war and various other things. There's a lot to it. I don't want to get into that too much. But once you see that, your mind would change in the way you view your government and the media. And the media is wholesale lying to you. It's just pure propaganda. Once you've seen the way when you see the way I see, then okay. Then you're just going to see it's just pure propaganda just flowing right out of their mouths just all day long, 100%. We did this study, we did that study. It's just, they want you to believe what they want you to believe. Okay, So I'm just going to mention a few things about 9/11 for you non-believers. The one thing that I always point to is that buildings cannot free fall into themselves. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know any more than that. And then you can work backwards from there. Okay, if buildings cannot free fall, maybe for some reason, one floor could melt. I don't believe that either. But let's say it could. All right? Even if one floor could melt enough so that the top portions, here's the bottom portion, here's the top portion. The top portion come down. This is all that would happen. It would not free fall into the rest of the building at the speed of gravity, accelerating. It's impossible. There are laws of physics. If you want to change the laws of physics, please just let me know what the new laws are, and I'll go by those laws, and that'll be fine. When I saw this happening, I'm thinking, well, now they're going to have to change all the building codes, right? They certainly would never build a skyscraper ever again, right? Because it's just going to fall due to a fire. Okay, but anyways, so that's the one thing. All I have to point to is it can't free fall into itself. If you look online and it's you can look up like demolition fail or something, you'll see there's a good one of a building that they try to demolish, and the top part starts coming down, because this stuff here is blowing up, coming down, and then something goes wrong in the charges, and they stop blowing up. And this part just goes boop, bloof. That's what would happen if one floor melted. It would, at best, slump down, and at worst, topple over and, land in the street. That's what would happen. That's it. You don't need to know any more than that. Because are you telling me that Osama bin Laden was in there rigging demolition? Was he in there ensuring that the bottom half of the building is going to explode while the top half comes down upon it? Is that what you're telling me? Osama bin Laden did that? Okay, well, we know that's impossible. That's retarded. And then the other thing, seriously, you don't even have to look at that part. The other part is Building 7. No matter what you want to believe about Building 7, that the lower part was melted from kerosene fires, or some damaged part got damaged because of the other towers hitting it. That's not what the NIST says, NIST. They don't even say that. They say it was just office fires up on the 11th floor or wherever they were. That's what they say, the official version. They were contracted by the government to figure out what caused Building 7 to fall and the other two towers. And what they say their final finding was that Building 7 fell because of the office fires, and only because of the office fires. Okay, so... And yet what you see is, as you can see it, look it up, Building 7, the entire building starts collapsing at, you don't get to see the bottom, you get to see the top half of it, but it's just as one big block goes straight down. Straight down. All right, so if it's reality and you have, weakened areas on one side of the building or whatever, it's not going to go straight down. That's impossible. And it'd be the same thing as the towers. It would just go down a little bit and then fall over. That's what it would be. It wouldn't be a controlled demolition exactly as you see it. Okay, now, there's all kinds of other inconsistencies. There's millions of them. Well, there's probably thousands anyway. With the other parts of the stories, that's where people try to ask me, well, what about this? And what do they do with all the passengers? I don't give a shit. Who cares? Figure it out. What does it matter? If you know what they did with the passengers, does that negate what happened to the buildings? They try to confuse the issue. That's all I have to point to. So look at that footage if you want. If you don't want, I can't make you. of the buildings collapsing. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And it's the first time in history steel buildings have fallen down because of fire. And only one more thing about the airplanes crashing into the building. Technically, when an airplane hits a building, it should slow down some instead of going directly in without slowing down at all, which these things supposedly did. It's just impossible for an aluminum framed airplane to run into a building. Okay, here's the building. And I'm gonna go into the, it's just impossible. It's got to crinkle or something. The building has to give its energy to the airplane, and the airplane has to give its energy to the building. So they each have to give a little bit. But what you see is the building just giving completely. Is that even possible? No, it's not possible. Okay, so there, laws of physics. I don't want, and I'm not here to argue that. If you disagree with it, just don't talk to me. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Okay, so but from there, you look deeper and you see what's going on with our society, and I'm going to mention the drones. Why do they need drones? Where do you think our society, just here in the United States, is headed when you see that they're asking for 30,000, and they're going to get 30,000 drones above the United States? Why would we need drones above the United States? For what purpose? Is it like a giant North Star system where Jason gets a flat tire and then, oh, I'm safe because, drone boys are already calling ahead, Jason's got a flat. He's got a flat. It's going to help me. Does it look like our society is headed towards a utopia when you see drones in the sky? Or is it headed toward maybe something really bad? How protected do you need to be that you need a drone watching you all the time? I can maybe see cameras, maybe closed circuit television stuff, maybe. That's bad enough. But drones, you don't need drones. Now you know something's really going on when someone tells you it's okay to have drones in your skies, your own skies. We're not even droning the enemy. It's us. You think that's good? That's where we're going. That's a good thing. Oh, but we got healthcare, and we give up some freedom for our safety. Give me a break. Just think about it, okay? Think about it. Where are we really headed? And the president is allowed to assassinate people, American citizens, and this is no bullshit, with the drones. It's okay. He's done it, and he's allowed to do it. So where do you think we're headed? It's not going to be good. So that's why I think about these things and talk about these things. And I think it's important for you to talk about it if you believe it. If you believe that you're being lied to, you should speak up. I think it is important. Because if we're all out there just believing the lie, if it's a lie, as I say, if we're all out there believing a lie, then we're going to accept whatever crappy society we believe we deserve based on the lie. And I don't want a crappy society. I want we the people, for the people, by the people, and all the people. I want that. The good stuff. Promised to us from the beginning. So I think that's worth it. I think it's worth speaking up. Liberty is worth it. Yeah, okay. So you look a little wacky, and I think this last shooting, Sandy Hook shooting, all the inconsistencies in the media story, that I believe was intentional. You can't do it that badly by accident. It's impossible, in my opinion. And they know full well that we're out here scrutinizing these things. And we're going to speak up. And we should, and we did. And guess what? They kind of made us look crazy on purpose. I think that's what it was all about, make us look crazy. And now you notice that in this shooting, it's about people's mental health. That's being included in the gun grab, so to speak. Mental health is also an issue. And if you notice RT1, he had his guns or right to have guns taken away just because his doctor got overexcited about some things he had said to him. The sergeant had said to him, David said. Overexcited. And, once you go into a mental institution against your will, you don't have a right to guns. And so I can see this kind of calling people crazy and making truthers look crazy and gun owners look crazy as part of the gun grab. So it's easier for them to get him, and it's harder for you to keep him. That is our last line of defense. But our first line of defense is the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. So let's speak up. Come on, people. Don't go, oh, I shouldn't worry about this. This is, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. Okay? Yeah, your government's shitty. No, you can't do too much about it, but you can at least speak up. How hard is that? You don't have to worry as you do it. I'm not speaking up for me. Yeah, I would like a happy society where people told the truth and all that stuff. Where good people are in control of our government, who care about me and others. That is why I'm speaking up, not for me, because, it's just me. That's not a big deal. I'm speaking up for other people. Some people don't have a way to even do this. So at least I should speak up. So I'm going to. Okay. Good luck out there. Good luck.